Hi everyone, this is Christine Harrington, the Savvy Sales Lady, and welcome back to Referrals Are Gold. We're going to dive into Lesson 2, Part 2 right now. Step 2 in who to set up the referral conversation with is to prioritize your clients. Ask yourself these questions. Who are your die-hard loyal clients? Who can provide you with high revenue sales? Who has the highest number of relationships externally as well as internally? Who is the most willing to provide testimonials in writing or in videos? Now, below this video, you'll find a link to download a worksheet to help categorize your clients. You want to prioritize your clients. Now, you may have already worked through this if you're using a CRM to follow and track your sales process stages. However, I'm not asking you to prioritize your entire book of business. Just start with your top 25 clients that are the most die-hard loyal clients. Begin the referral process you're now learning with these top 25 existing clients. And within these top 25 existing clients, think about their organization and ask these questions when evaluating those prioritized clients. Who can provide you with the highest revenue of sales? So step 3 is the do's and don'ts, and we're going to do do's first. Establish a relationship with the person who signs the check. Now, what do I mean by this? You may be working with a low-level manager who needs authorization from someone above him or her to close the deal. It's that decision maker you also need to establish a relationship with as well. Remember I said think in terms of internal introductions? You definitely want to know the person who signs the checks. Number 2, become the trusted advisor. You're in sales. How do you become a trusted advisor? Well, by doing what you promise, keeping your commitments, providing service and value beyond what is expected, and introducing your clients to your circle of influence by giving referrals to your client. This is a part that's so often missed. Refer business to your client. Number 3, be a continued source of value and information. When a client wants to know what the market trend looks like, don't you prefer she calls you? If the client has a business problem that needs solving, wouldn't you love him to call you and ask your advice? You see, that's how I got into coaching. Clients were asking me how to sell to large businesses. Be a constant source of value and information. Number 4, give quick results. If the client comes to you for help, but it's outside your department or job, take ownership and see to it the problem is solved quickly. Just don't transfer the voicemail to the right person. Call the client back, talk through the issue, then personally handle it with the other departments that are involved and get quick results. Number 5, give guidance. When you notice a shift in the marketplace, or if you notice a shift within his organization, give the client guidance. Number 6, facilitate improvement over and above the current satisfactory results. You want loyal clients, not satisfied clients. As Jeffrey Gitomer says, there's not a big difference between a satisfied customer and a dissatisfied customer. You want to strive for loyal customers. Number 7, give the credit to the client. If you and the client achieve a major breakthrough, also turn the kudos over to the client. Relinquish credit to the client. Number 8, create new relationships throughout the duration of working with the client. As I said earlier, you're making a big mistake by handing off the client after the sale and only focus on more sales. You miss all the opportunities to create new relationships through the client, both externally and internally. Number 9, make the success of the client visible on all platforms. Brag about your client. Tell your social media world what a success your client is and how awesome it is to work with her. Number 10, Ask your client if he can be a part of your reference list and ask for a reference. Just do it. Ask for a reference. Now the don'ts. You're seen as a peer, the buyer only. What do I mean? Sometimes HR wants a collaboration in training people or onboarding your services. This can work to your detriment in gaining trust. So align yourself as a peer to the buyer only or to the person that signs the checks. Number 2, don't neglect the buyer. Make the buyer feel he or she has your highest priority. Be sure and let the client know he is your highest priority. Sometimes the buyer needs reassurance you'll be there when he needs you. Number 3, don't become a victim of doing more than your product or service can deliver. You work with the buyer, not for the buyer. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. And at the same time, if the buyer pushes you to work way outside your scope, you'll need to set professional boundaries. And I encourage you to do this before you get frustrated and feel like you're being twisted into a pretzel. Number 4, don't fail to mention next steps to stay in touch once your services has concluded. As I said before, keep in mind that the buyer doesn't know your process. No matter what stage you're in the referral process, always explain to the buyer the next steps. Number 5, don't try to cover up, minimize failings or shortcomings. Take full responsibility for everything. That's hard to hear, but you must do this. If another department messed up, don't minimize it or talk negatively about the department. Own it and fix it as quickly as possible. Number 6, don't take advantage of the buyer's goodwill. Treat the client as a trusted friend, not someone you can pull more revenue from. Number 7, don't be rigid or inflexible, go with the flow. If your product has a system that doesn't quite fit the client's needs, don't insist that the client change to fit your system. Find ways to change the system to fit the client. Look for flexibility opportunities. Number 8, don't make assumptions. Gosh, I see more business relationships go south because instead of asking questions, assumptions are made. Never assume anything. Ask for clarification. Number 9, don't operate fixated on one client at a time. I worked with a man who can only focus on one client at a time. As you might guess, he didn't sell much. Learn how to prioritize your clients. Use the downloadable worksheet as a guide for your CRM. Number 10, don't stop listening because you won the business. The deal is sold. Don't make the new client out of sight, out of mind. Don't be consumed with the next sales that you miss the opportunities to provide value for developing long-term relationships with the new client. You've worked so hard to cultivate the new sale. Why would you abandon the new client? This has never made sense to me why professionals do this. And the final step is positioning yourself the best way. Think about these questions before you contact the client about referrals. Really think it through. How did you meet the buyer? Was the buyer possibly a referral to you? What is your current relationship with the client? What is the recognition of the client in your space and marketplace? Will the client permit you to cite your work with him? Be sure and give him the credit. So in our next lesson, lesson 3, we're going to really focus on what to say. We'll go over the scripts, the tone, and timing so that you'll feel comfortable. And when you feel comfortable, then you'll be able to have the client feel comfortable when asking for referral business. Now the action steps are next, and I want to encourage you to download the PDF as a guide for prioritizing your clients. And then the next worksheet is contacting your top clients. What I want you to do in this worksheet is ask your top clients, those loyal clients that love you, love the product, love your company, ask them for feedback on why your top clients continue to work with you. We're using this on the next lesson, so I want you to do this and make sure you have it with you on the next lesson. So you can download both of these guides below this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and don't forget to download those PDF files and do your homework before you go to lesson 3. In lesson 3, you're going to get scripts so you know what to say to your customer, what to say to the referral, what to avoid, and how to move the conversation forward. These scripts will be your guide, and you can change these scripts any way you want to fit your industry. So I look forward to being with you on lesson 3. Bye-bye.